More idle soon. Alright. So, I messed up last time. Now we have to start our zoos all over again. But I'm ready to go do that. I have to be a little more careful in how I do this. Let's start on the hardest one, which is the first one. Shh. Shut up. I know how to do this already. Stop teaching me how to do it. One more income, select free space. Spin the wheel. Let's see how fast I can do this one starting from the beginning. I think it's not going to be that impressive. We'll just get it started and then we'll just jump to the next one. Okay. So, first thing I like to do is just no, what just happened? Did I click the wrong one? Wait. Max upgrade. Yeah, that's it. Wow, even with the max penguin upgrade, we're still only on $1. That's crazy. We suck. $2. We doubled our money. All right, let's just quit now. Yeah, let's just leave. All right, we got it started. Done. Now we jump to level 2, the slightly easier one. Your zoo workers were working hard while you were away. No, they didn't. They did nothing. They did absolutely nothing while I was away. I need to max upgrade this. That's more like it. Alright, well, we got started. Good. Let's just leave it. Now we'll just leave. Okay. At least we get we get it to where it needs to go fast. Alright. So this one should be, I think we're gonna be a little more successful with this zoo. Hopefully. So that was kind of pathetic last time. Okay. Max upgrade for the penguins. And that's it. Alright. Upgrade. Max upgrade. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay, Okay, so max this, max that. There we go. Oh. 10K. Let's just move on. I think we're good enough. I'm ready to go. All right, we got them going. We got the first three going. This one will probably do a lot better. Wait, I actually made earn money on this one? Oh yeah, this one actually started up, I guess. Wait, am I... Is this the one I just did? Yeah, this is the one I just did, right? Yeah, that's why. This is the third one. We're going to the fourth one now. Okay. Let's put on some video while we do this.
Was focused on undermining domestic confidence in the U.S. president. They wanted to just make you sound like your president wasn't so hot. Actually, your president has done a great job, and they did everything possible to do exactly that.
Okay, so we talk about he talks about the Russia hoax all the time. Look, Russia's did try to influence with an disinformation campaign the 2016 election. Doesn't even come close to the level of Russia's interference in 2016, what we're talking about here. But they wanted to make me look not so hot. Trump is lying also about the assessment made about the election. There's a report that came out put together by Trump's now CIA director, but at the time he was at DNI, John Ratcliffe. They made an assessment about this. They found that China did not deploy interference efforts they considered, but did not deploy influence efforts intended to change the outcome of the U.S. presidential election. So, like, it said that they did not interfere, but that they entertained it at a high level, essentially.
Sorry, be right back 1 second.
That's fair argument much more powerful together than just being for Democrats and sociopathetic we're going to try to do something about it when we get around to it if you elect us.
What am I doing? All right.
And it enjoys the added benefit of being provably true.
As there are no people on news and environmental journalism.
Man, this is so boring. I don't want to play anymore.
Protections and protecting the natural world get into. I know where we're just but a lot of times, where does it fit into campaign? It's like a lot of people that I know, a lot of our leaders are sometimes disappointed that it's not brought up. But we've got state level, but the other level too, that it's a back river issue.
Yeah, that goes back to the problem that I mentioned at the very beginning, which is that I think the political class has way underestimated how important this is to the public. And part of that has been that we've made terrible arguments about this that have been, patting ourselves on the back. We care so much about the polar bears. It's wonderful. Where do we wonderful is public for the economy, as opposed to putting out the full story of what the hell is happening and what the cost is, how bad the damage is, and how it's corrupt. So I think if we could meet the moment by lifting the level of our narrative where the public already is, that would be a big improvement. And if we could actually get out a little in front of the public, you know, political leaders have the ability through what they say to make their own win, kind of. And public opinion will follow when political narratives lead ahead. And so I think we have a very big opportunity to reclaim the very high position that the environment.
All right, here we go.
The cost of corruption aspect of this is holding people's true.
I'm so bored.
But they've kind of been defeated because we just don't have enough people. They don't have the polar bears they don't see.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't really remember say that, but
you can understand. We have a hard time like the importance of a healthy ecosystems. And how we survive and thrive. So how do we get people to understand that? Because everything can't. Try to do that. My brother's a Republican. I'm a Republican. He always asks, I'll protect the environment. That type of thing. But how do we get the healthy ecosystems where we're screwed?
I think the warnings are becoming clearer and clearer, and one of the loudest warning bells is what the insurance industry is doing. You know,
There we go.
About what this product is doing to natural systems. There's no harm to them from that. There's actually advantage to them from that. So they can't be counted on to tell the truth. If you want to find a truth teller, an official business Republican truth teller, you go to the insurance industry. Because the insurance industry has a business model that requires them to predict the future accurately. If they do a terrible job of that, they're actually violating their fiduciary duty, and their shareholders can sue them. But their business model drives them towards understanding what's coming at us. And that's why you see the insurance market melting down in Florida. It's like that earlier.
I'm so bored.
The issue is among Floridians that live through this, it's the power is there to make it happen. But when I say, the probability, this isn't just like stuff got more expensive. That's part of it. When you start with a very expensive.
Main problem with this game is that these upgrades can't be. You can't buy more than one upgrade at a time, so you have to click repeatedly, and it's annoying.
You add 50% to that, and that's just.
I wouldn't want there to be. I wouldn't even think of the fact that there should be like a necessarily you should be able to buy more than one at a time. It's just that they have that upgrade for the animal enclosures, so why not also have it on these upgrades, right? Yeah, well, what can you do?
Your insurance agent start scrambling around trying to find coverage. If you're lazy about it, look out, because there are a lot of people who are lazy about it out in California, where the fire burned they didn't have insurance because they hadn't gotten that done. And insurance agents have been up with that, they're going to the phone calls is a mess of absolute ordinance. It's not for the cost problem, and then it cascades into your mortgage. And when we were doing our investigations in Florida, we were talking
Mess. This is not good. Oh, hold on a second. Alright. I'm bored as hell. Let's push through and get this done.
Taking place around this, in addition to the pure go-ahead and check problem.
As you mentioned, this is going to be a little bit outside of where it's coming from, but how do we...
I guess this is going pretty well.
Countries better protected from fascist takeover in the future. How do we not allow this to happen again? Do we have to update, change the Constitution? What has to be done that we don't have the next Trump wars that's possible?
Well, I think a lot of the damage has been done, or at least the foundation for the damage has been laid by the United States Supreme Court. And chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, if that's what happens, are going to be putting a lot of attention into that. Chairman Rafkin is likely to be the House Confederate that I
What's happening? Why is this not working? Okay, there we go.
We meet monthly to strategize and let each other know what the other is doing. So we're building harmony and goodwill between the two committees. I think the Supreme Court has a lot to answer for, whether it's gerrymandering, or the destruction of the Voting Rights Act, or the crooked dark money that they've allowed into politics, or the really quite deliberate destruction of the public corruption statutes that allowed you to clear out crooked governors and so forth. All of those things have been really corrosive of democracy. And, you know, my view is the Supreme Court has been captured in the exact same way that in the bad old days, the Mining Safety Commission was captured by the mining barons, so they got all the decisions they wanted. Or the Railroad Rates Commission was captured by the railroad barons, so they got all the decisions they wanted. I think this board has been captured.
Not too bad.
Very greedy billionaires. Taken them decades to do it. But
This is how you do it.
About it. And now they've got to do
The most important thing right now is polar bears.
And I watched it happen in real time as I see in cases that matter to the greedy billionaires. These constant flotillas of phony front groups funded by the billionaires coming into the court, filing amicus
All right.
in groups of 10 or 11 or 12, and it's all coordinated.
We're doing good here.
And
Oh, we should.
it's 100% on record form. Every time those flotillas come in on the case, they don't necessarily get everything they ask for.
All right, we're good. Let's move on.
Directionality is perfect.
Now we go to
Everything.
home.
Some of the briefs are like the tells from what they're going to ask next time, and but the court is very, very directed by these fuel-funded and billionaire-funded front groups in cases that matter to them.
To uncapture the board, what is it? Talking about term limits, maybe?
Yeah.
Attacking the board?
Term limits.
Term limits?
Term limits. And my bill puts 18-year term limits on the board, but it also makes it retroactive. If you want to look at what's been around for 18 years, some of the worst miscreants have already been around. And because of the constitutional issues, we don't fire them at the end of the 18-year term limits. They go, just like they do in every other federal court, onto senior status. And they can stay on the federal payroll for as long as they please. And there are two kinds of cases the Supreme Court hears. There's a very, very narrow group of cases.
All right, so you gotta get the 15% ones.
To hear involving foreign powers, disputes states as states. There's a very narrow track. And then there's what we see every day in the appellate jurisdiction. And Meg Curran-Nazir used to be the appellate chief for the U.S. Attorney's Office before she was U.S. Attorney. So I shouldn't be talking about this in front of her, but there's this whole appellate jurisdiction that they have, which they only have because Congress gave it to them. So they go into senior status. They go to their nice offices in the attic. Like the Maytag repair man, they wait for the constitutional case that comes, and then they can come down and do the constitutional case. The appellate work that's done by the 9 current justices.
Somebody's inviting me to play Stumble Guys. Play right now.
18 has
Let's put this on Do Not Disturb. Here we go. That was quick.
Your constitutional panel, you have your appellate panel, and one other sweet little thing that this does is right now.
Okay, what are we doing?
Justices have conferred upon themselves what they call a duty to sit, which means even if they have a conflict of interest that would disqualify any other judge.
Oh, I thought it was a lion. It's this one. So it's draft, right?
Because they have this duty to sit. But you don't need need
I thought I had a draft already.
to have a judge with a conflict of interest sit on a case. If you've got 5 or 6 bears sitting upstairs, you just bring them down and in. Now you've got a clean 9-justice court with nobody with conflict of interest. So there's a lot about it that's very, very good. That and proper ethics with proper fact finding is the key. The only 9 people in government who don't face fact finding when an ethics issue is raised are the 9 Supreme Court justices. You guys have an ethics complaint about me, you file it with the Senate Ethics Committee, they go out, they do fact finding, they do reports. I get to argue with them, but they do the fact finding. And then ultimately they make a determination. No such thing for this court. They just, facts be darned, if we're not interested, we're just going to ignore the whole thing.
So how do you change it? Besides determinants.
They had such a good job, and they just ruined it for themselves by trying to destroy the country.
Like you think if you had a volumes of tax against
It is so popular.
policy, is he gonna?
It is so popular to have proper ethics right now. And it pulls up into the high 70s and low 80s. It's really a lot of pressure. And what I would hope is that in response to pressure that we're actually going to do this, they step up and do it themselves and have real ownership over it. Like they've done fakely with the ethics little standards that they've done for themselves to try to dodge us. If we wouldn't let them dodge, they'd have to really do it.
All right, we did it. We're doing good here.
And if they're looking for an example,
The score to 1 billion.
50 states let's figure out how you do this. They pretend that it's impossible. But
50
there are
million.
50 states that face the same predicament and have solved it. So it sure as heck is not impossible. They just want it to be impossible.
And similarly, if the Democrats take control of the Senate House, how
We got seals. Do you have seals?
ensure that Trump doesn't just bypassing the law and not bypassing Congress make laws?
Well, you gotta give the courts a lot of credit for what they
All right.
have.
What do I want to do now?
The courts have
This one.
The Supreme Court is obviously big chunk here. But if you look at all the litigation that brought against all the Trumpian mischief, not only have courts risen to the occasion, they're increasingly rising to the occasion. And in fact, they're getting more and more fed up as it becomes more and more clear to more and more judges how bad the behavior is of the Trump administration lawyers and clients in their courtrooms and in lying about what they're doing in their courtrooms. So the record of this administration in court.
Okay, I gotta turn the volume off. This music's driving me crazy. Ah, that's better.
Started. Right now, for the first time, I think ever in the history of the state of Rhode Island, the federal court
Why is this not working?
has created a judicial disciplinary review to look at the Department of Justice lawyers and whether their misconduct in our federal court requires attorney discipline. That just hasn't happened before. Down in Florida, where they put through the phony baloney settlement that created the slush fund and the tax amnesty, that court has reopened the case and is looking at whether a fraud upon the court was committed by the Department of Justice.
There we go. We're in the quadrillions now.
I've never heard those words said before. The notion that the Department of Justice is being investigated for committing a fraud upon a court is in the realm of the unthinkable. And so every judge who has forever kept the notion that when it's the government, they have a presumption of regularity. We're going to presume that what they did is right and according to Hoyle and according to standard good operating process. That's gone now. And judges around the country are noticing that there's a new era of misconduct by federal agencies and federal lawyers. And that just makes it even, that gives them more collective strength to really hold their spines and do their jobs. So, bravo to the courts. Yeah, there have been things where I disagree with court decisions, and the Supreme Court is the problem child. But wow, we would be in a terrible position right now if it were not for district court judges in federal courts all around the country.
Man, this takes us a long time.
Appointees, Bush appointees, stepping up to the moment and doing their jobs.
But it's other things besides the courts too, because we'll take offshore wind here.
Yeah.
They were, stopped it, they had to take it to court while they're going through that, and ultimately it was ruled in their favor. It cost a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Which ultimately us ratepayers are going to be paying.
Yep.
So there's things beyond the courts, which I agree, they've held steady. But is there other things if they can do to not
Well,
just rely on
I
the
think,
courts?
going back to
My God.
regular, honest
What am I
governance
doing with my life?
makes a big difference. Having regulatory agencies make honest decisions makes a big difference. At the moment,
All right.
250 wind projects are stalled at the Department of Defense, waiting a fairly standard signature that there's no
There we go.
national security issue.
Well, I'm pretty sure we made more money than we can actually spend. No, probably not. But let's check.
250 of those wind projects have a
This is the
national
most important
security
one.
issue.
The monkeys.
It makes no sense. And this is actually bipartisan. I raised this point. This
Yeah, it's not
week in
maxed,
the
right?
Environmental
Yeah, so
Public Works Committee.
if it's not maxed, that means that we're not doing that well with it. But let's see if we can max this one out.
Of the Senate Armed Services Committee,
Yep,
Roger Wicker.
it's maxed.
And as I was describing
Can we max this
the
one?
nonsensical
I think so.
preposterous nature of this
Can we
blockade
max
at the Department of Defense,
this one?
he interrupted
Yeah, it looks like it.
to say,
Can we max this one?
I agree with the ranking
I think
member.
so.
This is not right, and they can't justify it. And I just want everybody here to know that as the chairman of the committee, I'm working with the department to clear these obstacles. So, bravo, thank you, Roger.
There we
Wicker.
go.
So, I think that there's an appetite for return to regular order, because a lot of what is happening here isn't Republican versus Democrat. It is executive versus legislative. And I think the way in which Trump has run roughshod over the Senate and the House.
There we go.
Even
apparently,
apparently
I have not finished the Lions.
Again,
Thought
has
I had.
built up a well of resentment that is now starting to boil over.
Lions are not finished.
My last question before we open up the audience.
All right, but we got a pretty good thing going. We gotta get the lucky wheel going.
Yeah. Midterm and presidential elections, like, the ice goons, especially if people of color going to the
I'm so
polls,
tired.
ice goons on the streets.
I'm ready to stop. This is killing me. How am I doing for time?
Banging his chest. I mean, not the ice goons are not.
Trump bangs his chest because he's trying.
This is a good stopping point, I think.
To the thing that he's banging his chest about. It's signaling of where.
Yeah, let's just stop here.
So when he talks about taking over elections, you've got to treat that seriously. Luckily,
let's get the other one going. Let's get the last one going.
Like the attorneys general.
This is the one we were just on, right?
For his work in this space. Democracy Defenders, Democracy Forward. Their litigation and election defense.
I just want to get at least a little bit going.
They're out there preparing for eventualities, so that at every polling place where there's any question of which way the vote's going to go, there's a lawyer on duty, ready to go. Briefed, papers ready, knowing what to do in a variety of circumstances. We even, in the Senate, just did a war game playing out an election interference effort in Georgia. I played the candidate, the Republican candidate, in the war game. And we walked through, what do you do next? What do you do now? And there were people.
Whatever's the most evil.
Bad guys who would be trying to manipulate the election, and then how do the countermeasures work? So it has reached that level of preparation that senators are participating in election defense war games with the leading election defenders so that we're all fleshing out where the holes are that we haven't thought of yet and where the resources need to be. It is a very, very live and active set of countermeasures. And I'm very grateful for a lot of volunteer work that's being done to support that.
Is this going on in MAGA states too, like red states? I mean, is
Yeah.
there?
Oh, yeah, this is Georgia. I mean, Georgia's sort of half and half, but it's happening all over. It may not be worth deploying a lot of resources into a polling district that you can 99% bet is going to go Republican anyway. They don't care to screw around in that district because that's where it's going to go. So you want to go to the battleground, not just states, but the battleground polling places, the battleground counties, and be prepared there to deal with the county infrastructure and have analyzed what are the tools. Let's say you're in a state that has a Republican governor and a Republican secretary of state. What are the tools they can use to get around the popular vote? What about the county election officials? What are the tools they can use? What are the countermeasures that we have to be ready to deploy? Are there things that we need to do in advance? So a very, very high order of preparation and thinking is being done about that. And that I'm really grateful.
What about like before, like people of color might be, or anybody for that matter, but like I don't want to go out because I don't want to get grabbed by ICE or some federal agent. How do you reassure people that?
What do you do when ICE closes the streets 4 blocks out from the polling place? What's your plan for that? Because they could do that. So that's the kind of thinking that is propounded by people who know nothing about climate change, but think they know something about polling. The Democrats should not talk about climate change. And I've been on a one-man war mission against that really stupid idea. And I'll just go quickly through why it's a really stupid idea. It's a really stupid idea, first of all, because it assumes something wrong about where the public is on climate change. Climate change has now moved from the science department into the economics department. And we can talk more about that, but people across the country are seeing the effects of climate change in their grocery stores, in their electricity bills, and catastrophically in many locations in their homeowners' insurance, whether it's because of cost or because they got a notice of non-renewal. A lot of Rhode Islanders know people in Florida. If you doubt me, call a friend in Florida and ask, hey, how's your homeowner's insurance going? And then stand back because you're going to get an earful. So it is a very real economic issue to people. That's one angle of it. The second angle of it is that this gets worse. And the predictions from very serious financial people, like the Economist.
I'm so bored of spinning the lucky wheel. Like, just give me a permanent bonus, please. Don't make me keep doing this. I also hate that, like, I have to hit OK now. I can't hit a circle or something to get out. It's exhausting.
To name a few, is that climate risk wipes out insurance markets.
What's my best one? The monkeys, right?
Properties become uninsurable. Uninsurability wipes out mortgage markets.
I haven't even restored them yet.
You need insurance to get a mortgage.
I thought you did that a while ago.
You can't get a mortgage unless you have a billionaire-friendly property that very, very wealthy people will write a huge cash check for.
All right.
If you need to sell your house to someone who's going to need a mortgage to make your price,
Let's just pump this up. Max out this,
property values
and
is the exact word used by the chief economist of Freddie Mac, the mortgage giant.
Get a little more here.
And if you look around,
and now I think we have enough now to like just get everything.
Which is first and worst across that whole spectrum, that whole cascade of damage. You go to the last bit, which is property values. Guess which state leads the country in property value loss last year and is on track to have a worse year this year? Florida. So, you know, it's not just a prediction at this point, it's the beginning of a real thing. And it, I think, becomes super important for Democrats and government both to have been warning about this so that when it happens, there's not just a pox on everybody's houses, but we can say, we've been trying to tell you, we were the truth tellers here. And so that's the second angle of argument. And the third is, and the last is, our argument.
All right, we got
climate
this. Let's
change has always
go.
been really lame. We've never told the public the real story of what is going on here. We have never really targeted the villains in the story. And this story has real villains.
Okay.
And if you leave the villains out of the story kind of sucks, right? What's Little Red Riding Hood as a story without the big bad wolf? You know, what are the three little pigs?
That's a weird way to
without
put
the
it.
big bad wolf? The story
They'd be alive, I
is
guess.
dumb
All right, anyway.
without the villains. Here we have two epic central casting quality villains. One is
All right, we're done here.
I
I think it's time to call it quits. That's all, folks. Let's get out of here. We are done. Oh, this is the opening screen. Let's just quit from this screen then. So that's all, folks. Please like, subscribe, click the bell, leave a comment. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Save recent gameplay. Full video.